Hello and welcome to the behind the scenes for MAGE Staff review. I'm Arm and I, the creator of this film, and I'm going to show you how I did some of the effects. Go away. Out of the movie. Out of the movie. Yeah. If you go around YouTube, there are people all over the place who do videos just reviewing products. But these videos are usually made using like an iPhone or just your camera phone. Most of this movie was just tracking out little things, tracking out the head of the staff to add on like little visual displays and things like that. That right there in the background is in fact my mother, and I don't think she knows that she's in a movie. To create the fire shots, the first step is to go through and track out the scene, which gives you a virtual camera in 3D space that I can add objects to. The second is to track out the head of the staff and position it in 3D space somewhere in the right area. And that'll give me like a 3D version of the shot of basically everything that I need to create the scene. The fire was done using a plugin for 3D Studio Max called Fume Effects. I also went through in After Effects and just added like a shimmering glow on the head of the staff to make it look like it's reflecting the light. Same thing for the flamethrower. I just animated the position so it like shoots off into the distance and made it look like it was going over the fence. This is the book right here that I used, and I have to say this is probably one of my favorite props that I've made thus far. It's actually just a Stephen King book. This was the last thing I threw in because I was thinking, I need a pamphlet. Sudden epiphany. I need a spell book. I was going to bring the vase to actually show you guys. My sister got this vase from somewhere, and she tried putting fish in it, and they died. You would not believe how terrible it would be to live inside something that you can't see straight lines. When I started getting into 3D animation, I stole this vase from her and made a 3D model of it. This model was really like one of the first things I made that I was really proud of. So once again, I tracked out the scene and then just added the vase on top. Then I placed lights in the right positions and added some color to them to make it look like it was actually casting a shadow. And yes, Wingardium Leviosa is a reference to Harry Potter, in case nobody knows. Rewinding time! The cans are 3D models that took me about 4 hours to make. I haven't done this before, but I got curious how good the model looked, but I didn't want to tell anybody what it was for. I took a picture of my desk, I added the can to the scene, posted it on Facebook, and asked if people could tell what object was fake. I call it I Spy CGI. Teleporting is definitely one of the funner effects I got to do with this. The whole return to thing is actually a reference to the cartoon series Jackie Chan Adventures, which was really big when I was growing up. I really enjoyed watching it. The shot is composed of 5 different shots. The first was me standing out in the field with the head cam.
I was walking around out here and I remembered, oh, wait a sec, I filmed a movie over here. I'm going to do it again. Can you tell me what movie I've done in the past that I used this exact location?
The second was on top of a roof. The third was in the mall, which I'm surprised I managed to film in there. I've actually had the mall security stop me and say, sir, you can't film here, like put that camera away kind of thing. The fourth was just standing in my living room, and the fifth shot was my hands and the staff in front of the green screen. Those first 4 shots I was just filming with the head cam. I didn't have the staff with me. The fifth one, I took the staff, held it in front of the green screen. I grabbed the hilt, do the spell, and then kind of slowly bring it out of shot. And it actually turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Then I just went through each shot and color corrected everything. The house fire thing was going to be fume effects like I did for the staff earlier, but I couldn't quite make that look as realistic as I'd like. So I got some stock footage of actual fire and just layered it over the top and then tracked it to the fireplace. Although in the stock footage you couldn't see any smoke, so I did do smoke in the fume effect. And then of course I put the staff back on top and then tracked out the head and added the low battery sign. Last thing is this whole outdoor scene. Same thing when I was outside, I just tracked out the chimney and added like an explosion stock footage. And then the last joke was with Siri, which was just an image I took off of Google and then animated on my own in After Effects. This is the GoPro HD Hero 1, and this is the camera that I actually filmed the movie with. What I like so much about it is it can do full HD film, it's 60 frames per second, and it's extremely small, so I can attach it to a hat. The one downside is that even though it has this extremely wide-angle lens, it gets kind of distorted. So every shot in this movie I had to go through in After Effects and use an effect called optics compensation to basically stretch out the corners to make it look a little more normal. Then throw on some mosaic filters, brighten it and reduce the saturation, and then here and there throughout the videos I would kind of add little points where it would get brighter and darker to make it look like an auto explosion sort of thing. Then throw on some motion blur and save it as a lower resolution, and there's the shot. I hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes at MAGE Staff Review. Definitely not one of my normal films. Oh, and if you're curious what I've been working on here this whole time, it's the cover photo from my Facebook page. Thanks for watching, and welcome to my life.
Seriously, rewind.